What's up? This is Jake with Hike 734, hiking the Pebble Creek Trail in the far northeast corner of Yellowstone National Park. And this trail starts out over at the Warm Creek Trailhead, it works its way up a steep ridge, and then drops down and joins up with Pebble Creek, and then follows Pebble Creek all the way out to the Pebble Creek Trailhead. And you start out over at the Warm Creek Trailhead, which is just a little spur road off of the northeast entrance road. And it starts out nice and steep, but it's in a really old forest. And you spend the next mile and a half or so, maybe a little bit longer, climbing about 1,200 feet. So it definitely is really steep and a lot of work, but it is definitely worth it. But as you're climbing up, it's really cool. You can stop and rest and look out over at Abiathar Peak and Baronet Peak. Really, really pretty, really cool features. And it is essentially just little tiny pocket views. It's always a little bit filtered. And there are little meadows but it's overall just nice, good alpine hiking. So it's not super dense, and I don't know, I really enjoyed it, with the exception of having to climb it. But eventually you get to some really steep switchbacks at the very, very top. And that's how you know you're at the very top. And then from those steep switchbacks, it kind of mellows out to a little saddle. And you come out to this little tiny bit of a view, and it gives you a taste of what's to come. But first you have to descend a couple hundred feet. That's pretty steep. And then it drops you out, and the passage or the payment to get out into the meadow is crossing Pebble Creek. And you have to do this 4 times if you do the whole trip like I did. And this is the first ford, and luckily I was able to kind of step over some stones. But once out into the meadows, they are unbelievably fantastic. I really stinking enjoyed them. You just got really great panoramic views all the way around. Didn't see any big animals today, but yeah, definitely a great opportunity to see them. And lots of good willows that are growing along Pebble Creek, nice grassy open meadows, just awesome. Just really great views. You have, this is the backside of Baronet Peak, which is, kind of a neat view that not everybody's going to be seeing. That's not just driving the road. And then you also have Cutoff Mountain there, which is really cool, and it's just really cool to see some of the features that they have on those. But anyways, the trail just kind of works its way gradually down the drainage following Pebble Creek, and it's just, yeah, really nice. You kind of pop in and out of some trees every once in a while, and then finally you go ahead and you have to cross Pebble Creek. And when you do, you spend a little bit more time in some trees, and then you'll kind of come out to a meadow, and then it'll be an old burn area, and then it'll be a younger stand of trees, and an older stand of trees, and then a meadow again, and just with varying different views. And if you look up between Cutoff Mountain and Mount Hornaday, you can go ahead and see Bliss Pass, which there's actually a switchback trail that goes up to there, which seems incredibly awesome. Definitely difficult, but looks awesome. And anyways, so yeah, you just kind of cruise on that for a while, and once again, just kind of going in and out of the forest. And it's definitely, the whole valley's necking down, and you're getting to be in more forest than you were. And then you go ahead and you cross the creek again. And when I say cross, I mean ford. And once again, I was able to get lucky. So there, all 4 fords, I was able to kind of hop stones and go ahead and tightrope walk over logs. But yeah, just eat, whenever you just go over, you're just, getting to look at the opposite side, and, just seeing lots of cool things, lots of really, fun birds I got to see today. And just, yeah, so eventually it starts to work its way down, and you finally cross the creek after traveling along the bottom for a while again. And then once you cross this creek for the last time, you pretty much just kind of traverse along the edge of the hill while the creek gradually goes deeper below. So for a long time, you basically just don't see the creek at all. But anyways, yeah, it's mostly just kind of a grind through the trees, just as you're traversing the hillside. Little tiny pocket meadows here and there, especially the one that's where there's a campsite. Gives you, once again, really good view of Mount Hornaday as it continues to change its aspect and everything. And then it goes back in the trees for a while, and then you go past a handful of these little feeder creeks, which will kind of give you a reference as to where you are on your map. And then from there, it gets more and more meadows, and then the forest kind of gets parked out, and you start to be able to see down a little bit more into the whole where Pebble Creek Valley goes into the Lamar Valley. And the whole thing, the reason why I think why it just traverses as much as it does is so you can go ahead and get this big epic view of the valley. You can go ahead and see Thunderer finally as you've rounded around the ridge enough. And so yeah, so got to see Thunderer, where the Lamar Valley area, and then Mount Hornaday again, and then you turn and you hit the switchbacks where you drop about 500 feet back down to Pebble Creek, and you know, such as kind of trees and some loose views and whatnot. And that's kind of where I'm hiking right now. And as it drops down into the old Pebble Creek Canyon, which is just got some really cool little looks to it. And then yeah, and then finally you'll come down to a fork in the road, and you can either take a right and go to the campground, or you can go ahead and take a left and head out to the Pebble Creek trailhead. But anyways, overall, super cool day. You can do it either way. Warm Creek is actually higher in elevation than Pebble Creek trailhead, so that's the way that I did it, so I could get most of my elevation out of the way early, and then just do the gradual out. But you may want to go ahead and do the gradual up, and then you have that last little 200 up and then 1200 down, if that's kind of your thing. Or you can just go ahead and just do the very beginning, where you just start at Warm Creek, go up and over, hang out in the meadows, and then take off. That'll go ahead and save you quite a bit of mileage. So anyways, this is Jake with Hike 734, hiking Pebble Creek in the far northeast corner of Yellowstone National Park. If you like this video, subscribe on YouTube and head over to hike734.com for more goodness.